Hello, this is the Dazzling One, and this week's discussion is on winged humanoid sightings in the Chicago area in 2017. And what's interesting about this is that back on the 3rd of May of this year, I uploaded a video titled Urban Legends Winged Humanoid Sightings. And little did I know that this was going on in the Chicago area. This story was published in the Chicago Tribune on July 29th of 2017, and I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to read it in full. I'll start into the story. You decide for yourself what you think. Some say it looks like a large bat or owl. Others say it resembles a man in a winged suit. Some say it's silent, but others describe sounds like brakes screeching. Some people who claim to have seen the creature in Chicago recently reported it had glowing red eyes, and they felt a sense of dread when they saw it. I believe the witnesses are seeing something paranormal, researcher Lon Strickler of Pennsylvania told me by phone on Friday, because the descriptions don't compare exactly. I think there could be at least 2 or 3 different beings. The more than 20 reports since April of a winged humanoid spotted in Chicago are drawing comparisons to the Mothman legend. Journalist and UFO researcher John Keel wrote the 1975 book The Mothman Prophecies, which was made into a 2002 movie starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney. The book and movie were based on events that occurred in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Numerous people reported seeing a red-eyed Mothman creature in the months before the Silver Bridge carrying U.S. Highway 35 over the Ohio River collapsed on December 15, 1967, killing 46 people. Like the town of Roswell, New Mexico, which holds an annual festival commemorating a 1947 UFO incident, Point Pleasant celebrates its local legend each September by hosting a Mothman festival. Strickler, who chronicles reports of ghost, UFO sightings, and other paranormal activity on his Phantoms and Monsters website, told me the recent alleged accounts of a creature spotted in Chicago represent the largest cluster of possible Mothman sightings in the 50 years since the Point Pleasant tragedy. I cannot find any other groupings like this, Strickler said. Strickler had chronicled 21 alleged Mothman sightings in Chicago this year. The earliest was on April 7th in Oz Park. Strickler said it was reported to a colleague, Manuel Navarrete, at UFO Clearinghouse. A woman walking her dog claimed she encountered a creature standing in the park. I saw a large man, probably 7 feet or taller, standing on the ground. According to the account published by Strickler, it was a solid black, but what really stood out, and I do mean large pair of wings that were folded behind him. The account said the creature looked at the woman before spreading its wings and flying off. I felt like this thing could see right through me, read me, and knew what I was thinking, like it could stare right into my very soul. It was the most terrified I have ever been in my life. Most of the alleged sightings have occurred at night, near water. A man fishing with his son along the Little Calumet River in Heswick Park reported seeing a man-sized black bird around 7:30 p.m., April 30th. Another man walking with his 6-year-old son in Calumet Park around 8 p.m., May 5th, reported a similar encounter. A man said he was with a group near Adler Planetarium on June 23rd when they saw something that looked like a large bat. The most recent alleged sighting occurred Monday during daylight at about 5 p.m. at Willis Tower. A witness smoking a cigarette on the sidewalk outside a tavern reported looking up and seeing a human-like figure with large wings perched near the top of the building. As he watched, the being leaped off the building, stretched out the wings, dipped, and swooped upwards. It gained altitude as it flapped its wings and headed off in a northern direction, Strickler wrote. I asked Strickler about the credibility of reports. If one accepts the reports as authentic, could people be seeing a large owl, a man in a winged suit, or a drone decorated to look like a monster? We've looked into everything, he said. People say it moves its head and its legs. It acts like it's living. If it was a suit, it would need some kind of jetpack. It's got some propulsion to it. It flaps its wings and accelerates. One of the more convincing accounts is alleged to have occurred at about 11:15 p.m. June 29th at 81st and Throop Streets in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. Strickler published an account allegedly received by Navarrete from a man claiming to be a Chicago police officer on routine patrol with his partner. We were flagged down by a group of people who were pointing up to the top of an apartment building that was on the corner, Strickler wrote, relating the alleged account. The man claiming to be an officer reported seeing a large creature with wings on top of the building. They shined flashlights on it, and it flew away. People crowded around said they had seen the creature flying over the neighborhood the previous 2 nights. We initially were doubtful about filing a report because we thought we would be made fun of for seeing little green men. We finally filed a report, as we did, not one to violate protocol. Strickler wrote of the alleged sighting. I checked with the Chicago Police Department to see if any reports were filed about the alleged Auburn Gresham incident or any other recent Mothman sightings. Our database did not reveal any reports or any incidents regarding the aforementioned a spokesman said. Strickler believes Mothman is a being from another dimension. I have long theorized that the Mothman and other unknown winged beings are multidimensional life forms that can be summoned by high-energy, incorporeal entities that reside on our Earth's plane, he wrote. I stopped reading there, but there's one final paragraph where the author gives their opinion on the matter. What's interesting about it is, following the original Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant, there was the collapse of the Silver Bridge. If you think these Mothman sightings are authentic, do you think this is an omen to the Chicago area or to the country at large? 2017 has been a strange time. I wouldn't quite say compared to last year's 2016 killer clown sightings. However, the fact that this is the most Mothman sightings in the past 50 years since the original sightings is quite alarming and interesting. So what do you think? Do you think these people are just seeing a large owl or some other explainable object or animal, or they're making this up out of thin air? Or do you think that these are real winged humanoid sightings coming from another dimension? Let me know what you think. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.